So let me explain by saying the most of the creeks in Victoria, maybe Australia, we have what we call creek reserve, right? So if you look at this creek, that's only maybe less than 5 meters wide, but the buffer, the reserve, can go all the way up to 50 meters. In this case, probably more than 50 meters. Why this is important is because we see this not just a creek, but it is a corridor. It is a biological corridor, but it's also a flat corridor. So we plant trees and build footpaths and bicycle paths in this corridor. You can see that during the rush hours, it's very busy. A lot of people actually commute to the city by bikes because it's not interrupted by the cars. Right? It's have dedicated paths. So back to Thailand, so it would be good for the group to think about how you want to develop future irrigation channels. Don't see it as just channels by the trapezoid shape, but think about as a corridor. Can we plant trees? And can we make that more natural? I just pick up your point yesterday. Yes, maybe we don't have budget to convert the entire irrigation canals into something like this, but at some point, important intersection point, where you say before the irrigation channel goes back to the river, that's probably somewhere we can expand into like an ecological park. If I draw a cross section here, we can widen this up and goes all the way up to the land surfaces, right? Then we can introduce lower weir to keep water there. Maybe you already have water, but plant trees, plants in the wetland species, so it become a park. And this can also function as a retarding basin for the downstream, or you harvest water from that point, or you treat water. So the key thing is widen this up and improve the amenity and use that as a nature-based solution that benefit community. So this is something we can reference. You have something deepen down and gently goes up, which means that area can be flooded. Right. So close to water surface, you can use a cypress, swamp cypress, maybe willows or bamboo. The certain bamboo in Bangkok can also grow near the water. Right? It can be flooded. And as you're going up, it's more canopy trees, create shade for the community. And then in between, all of these riparian zones are all wetland species. That's something you can think about. Right? And the houses around here is very, very expensive. The back door of their house is access to this nature corridor.
Okay.
Right? It's nature corridor for them.
Yeah.
You can walk along here.
Yeah.
I take you to a short loop, but if you want to walk, you can walk many kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to walk along the road. Mm-hmm. It's all along this nature corridor.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's walk a very short loop, maybe only 100 meters. The shortest loop. But you can get the point. Yeah. Back to here. Yeah. Go back here. Yeah. You want to take photo? Yes. We literally don't maintain it. If the branch falls off, you have to put it back, right? You don't take it away, right? Let the nature take over. It's not manicure reserve, it's a nature reserve, right? So when things falls down, when they die off, just let it regulate itself. Don't take it out. Yeah.
ซึ่งประเทศไทย
Can it make the charcoal?
Unless it's all done, then you have to do something about it.
มันจะมีคนหาประโยชน์จากป่านี้ได้
ใช่เราเก็บเห็ดเก็บอะไรกินบ้านเรามันพอลาดขึ้นมาใช่ไหม
So I want to show you two things here, right? One is you look at the highest point, they are part of the flood corridor. So within the flood corridor, you allow to have a passive irrigation, passive recreation. Like a parkland, you can kick your balls around, but not formally, but informally. And there's some car parks that even allowed to build there. But during 1 in 100 years event, they'll all be flooded. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing, you can see that section has not been restored. It is like 100 years old. Use stones to basically do the same thing as the concrete. This section has been restored for up to maybe 5 kilometers, right? And you can see, they all mentioned this, right? There's a lot of erosion, you see, on the side, very steep. It has been eroded because of the development along the catchment. And you can see many of these kind of small rock weir along this way, trying to slow the runoff down.
And when you mean restored, you mean restored from the old concrete structure?
Yeah, yeah. So take away the old stones and try to make it mimic natural condition. Yeah. But then you'll find it's very hard because the catchment is not doing anything to reduce runoff. So you still have erosion. Yeah. So that's why naturally you should see a very gentle slope all the way into the water, but in reality you have a sharp drop. That has been eroded by the frequent stormwater event.
And that is what is happening here.
Yeah, yeah. This one is not bad. You see, you can see a very good condition, but further up you can see where the water turns. The external curve is very velocity very high. The shear stress wash the soil down.
And the rock we are here, are these constructed?
Yes, put in by people.
To slow down the water.
Yeah, yeah.
So actually the trees on the side, on the bank, plays a very important role. So they will hold the soil.
Yeah.
So even though you can see they're very, very sharp, and it doesn't erode anymore because the trees are there. So the plants really plays a very important role in the nature-based solutions.
So in the heat waves, right, this is the best corridor if you want to get away from the heat. Because all the parkland will be yellow and brown, super dry. I think one of my slides show you the surface temperature of a dry grassland is the same as concrete. But once you get into this corridor, the trees can always have access to water,
Yes.
right? So you immediately feel is the evaporation and the transpiration will put you down in this corridor.
And you can feel that very obviously. So you can directly feel it's very cool beside the water and under the trees.
Okay, good. So hopefully future RD canals will be looking something like this. You have many trees growing next to the canal. What I find when I travel to China, right? Usually the irrigation canal is bounded by roads and very little trees. There are some trees, but little. But I think we can do more. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's care. So this is very important ecological corridor so that for birds, for endangered species like this. But when we design the footpath, there must be one foot. If there's a multiple footpaths, right, there will be at least one that is above 1 in 100-year flood events. So when we design this corridor, right, we will model what is the maximum water level based on 100 events, and make sure there's always at least 1 footpath that is above that. So when it's flooded, people can get out through that safety footpath. But if you have multiple, the other ones are always lower. Get people close to the creek. But will be at least one that is higher. So last year it was flooded, all the way flooded there. To that. Sorry, I didn't break my marker. So this is the wetland, okay, and this is the diversion point. And the diversion point all the way across the park. You see where the light going? That's where the diversion point. Why it is so long is because we're trying to use the diversion by gravity. We have to trace all the way upstream so that we can divert water by gravity, so no pumping. So that's why the diversion is really long. And so from the diversion, about 80 to 90% of the annual runoff, stormwater runoff, is diverted into this wetland. So water is treated as a wetland before it discharges to downstream. And at this diversion, if we communicate to the public saying, okay, the wetlands is helping us to preserve frogs community, which control the mosquito. Is that a positive message to the community in Thailand? No? Frogs. Because frogs eat mosquito and people don't like mosquitoes.
Very delicious.
ใช่
Very
อยู่
delicious.
ค่ะพี่ว่า
Very delicious.
Yes. Yeah. And also it's expensive too.
Oh. spray. He means frog is delicious, right?
Yeah, we
Yes.
do eat them in Thailand. No, not much.
No, no drink. It's normal drink. Oh, it's normal.
I don't see any frogs there.
No, you can't see it because they're hiding from us. They're hiding from us. Yeah. Unless we build a frog hotel. You can use PVC pipe to build a frog hotel.
Before this becomes a wetland,
It's a grass.
or just grass.
It's grass. Yeah, yeah.
So all of these constructed wetland.
It's constructed wetland. Okay.
And does it connect back to the?
Yeah, I will show the wet outlet. It connects back to the drain. Okay. So the reason I want to show this to and from a landscape perspective, Vanida, jit, you can put many plant species here, not just aquatic plants. A mix with trees, right? At the point that people can't even see where the water line is. So you can see this is like a integrated piece of a landscape because you can't see the water line. Right? And from water quality perspective, Melville like this. It's densely vegetated. It's the best for water quality performance.
Yes.
Okay, and then if we build this in Singapore, the Singapore government hate dengue. It's a big thing for dengue is a big thing for them, so they don't like to see open water, and this will satisfy Singapore government standard. But but if in Thailand people like to see open water, that's fine. We can always put open water at the end, after the water is properly filtered. And I think this is really important. We can consider flowering plants, because in Australia we are not doing this very well. People has been designers are lazy. They just choose the plants from the default list. They don't take the actual effort to choose the beautiful plants. You can choose flowering aquatic plants, right? And if you do this, people will love it. But most people choose what is that thing, Phragmites, and those things, because they're easy to grow and cheap.
Yes.
But you can choose flowering plants, like these ones, yellow flower and purple. And if possible, I think we should think about putting a bridge across the wetland, not just letting people going around the wetland. Think about if we don't standing on this bridge and look this way, we have a completely different experience, right? If we can only walk around, then we don't know what's going on here.
So I think the most important part, one of the most important parts, is allow people to interact with the nature-based solutions. So, as in the past 2 days, Dale Brown, he has explained that people lack to have the interaction with NBS solutions. For example, in the morning, I didn't mention that the big wetland we visited. So people around that area, they lack the wetland. You can see people with a dog, they play with that. Even though we can see this period in Melbourne is very dry, but in maybe after March, it starts to rain. And after the rainfall event, the air is very fresh, and you can see more people go around that. They are walking, playing with the dogs. So it has different kinds of functions. The first thing is we treat the stormwater and we do the stormwater harvesting, and also there is some socialization advantages and also has some economic advantages. A lot of things we need to consider. So people like to get involved in the nature. So that is another part of NBS solutions.
We have to be very honest, right? In Australia, people are very conservative. Why? Because if we say we want to introduce the idea of stepping stones into the wetland, the government will say no. They don't want to take the risk, even though the water is very shallow. This is a shallow wetland. There's no risk of drowning, but they still say no. Hopefully in Thailand, somewhere, because I see in Banjakiti Park, right? Some wetland people can get onto it by stepping stones. So we should think about in RD wetlands, and in the shallow part, introduce stepping stone for the kids. They will love this. They jump on the wetlands by looking at sitting or or walking on a stepping stone, it will be a new whole level of experience. Yeah. In here, you see the government even wrap this. There's no point in wrapping this, but they want to make sure the risks are minimized. Yeah. It's not good design, but they want to do that.
บันไดลงไปอ่ะลึกๆก็ลง ลงหมดอ่ะ
ลดลงไปก็ลง
This wetland, we have probably 15 different species of plants, including trees. So the more variety, the better.
เยี่ยมมันก็โอเคนะทำเล็กๆดีนะ
See where they allow us to put the benches is already outside wetland. Wouldn't it be really nice, to put like a boardwalk, a decking, and then put the chairs, benches on the decking. They don't want to do that.
มันไม่ลึกมากใช่ไหมอันนี้เขาก็ยังแบบ
And in winter season. What? This tree. In the winter season, it will die?
No. Some of them, like will drop leaves, but some of them we keep. They are evergreen trees.
Most of the trees are.
Yeah.
The winter, right? The minimum we can go is maybe 2 or 3 degrees only for 1 or 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
No snow.
not really hibernate. No snow.
How about snake? This area
Could be.
snake.
It could be.
Could be.
Well, what I'm afraid of
Yeah.
this morning is in Troops Creek Wetland, this side, it could have some snakes, but I have been working there for 3 or 4 years, but I have never seen that. But, snake like water. So it could have some snakes. Yeah.
But the government always put a snake sign, right?
Yes.
To cover to make sure the public aware, even though nobody have seen it for many years, but they still put a snake sign.
Yeah. So
There is a possibility.
yeah, there is one small wetland just behind my house many years ago, and they put a sign that said it's a snake habitat, and they fenced off the whole area because they doesn't want people to interrupt the snakes, and it doesn't want the snake to come out. So that area is, I think, it's just a piece of place like snakes. They live there. And for the wetland we visited this morning, troops, I saw very big fishes, like this big. Yeah.
We construct we introduce constructed wetland as a nature-based solution, right? What problem is this solution to treat water? Treat the water contaminated by what? The city
By the urban runoff.
urban runoff.
Yeah. So one of the policy introduced by the Victoria government is that for any new development, right? In this site is that development, right? Up there, it's done. When it used to be greenfield, right? When they develop or redevelop, they buy houses and build buildings, and they have to make sure the total suspended solid are reduced by 80%. Total nitrogen, total phosphorus reduced by 45%. That's by law they have to do that before they can get a planning approval. So this is one of the ways they have to satisfy the requirement.
Okay. And how did you monitor and conclude the efficiency of
How to prove, right?
Yeah.
It's a modeling called music, right? So the early researchers actually within Monash developed a modeling called modeling of urban runoff water quality improvement. So that modeling is based on a long time research, a laboratory research. Say, when you have this big catchment, if you have this size of barrier retention system or wetland, how much total suspended salt you can remove. So the modeling is backed up by the experiment, and then put a digital modeling, so everybody can use. So if you're a developer, so I'm developing a 100-hectare land, the model tells you how big is my treatment system, and then you use that number to find a place in your development plan. and then government approve, and then you can proceed. And if you can't meet, you pay a fee, right? So they don't stop you, right? They say, I can only meet 20%. You ask me to remove 45%, that's okay, right? The remaining ones that you haven't meet the target, you purchase what we call a nitrogen credit, right? For example, if I still need to remove 500 tons of nitrogen, I pay you. If you can meet that target on behalf of me, somewhere other place in the catchment, I pay that money to you. So this trading, nitrogen trading, because the ultimate purpose is protect the very downstream receiving water, which is the bay. So it doesn't matter if you can't remove from this catchment, some other people can remove it from that catchment, because the bay care about the total load into the bay, which is through the 200 waterways. So the bay doesn't matter, they don't care whether reduction is coming from this waterway or that waterway. As long as the total reduction is reduced, then they are fine.
So the reason that this constructed wetland happen is because the developer wants to change the land use.
Yeah.
So by law, they have to do something, and they choose the nature-based solution as their choice.
Yeah.
And so you run the model, and that might affect the area of the wetland to reduce the total sediment.
Total suspended solid.
Yeah, things.
Normally, right, the developer need to construct this within their own land. In this case, if they do that, they have to use pumping because it's too low, right? Because it's too low. And why they choose this is they can come into an agreement with the government saying, I will build a really nice wetland park for you for free, but you have to offer the land, right? So this is belong to the government. Government say, okay, great, you build for free, we give you some land, because your wetland is better than my grass, right? So then they collectively meet the development requirement, but at the same time upgrading the park for free. Yeah.
I have a question from handsome man. Yeah.
Which has so many handsome men here.
The most handsome.
The most handsome.
He said that if the objective of the wetland is for treat the water from the urban, why you don't choose to construction a treatment plan? Why you choose NBS? How to explain, how to compare it for the budget for investment?
So if they choose the conventional treatment plant, they have to maintain it, right? Which is the maintenance cost is very high, the running cost high, and secondly, there's no additional benefit to anyone else. Building a wetland, everyone love it, the community love it, the government love it, right? The people who managing the park love it. That's why it happens because it benefits so many stakeholders, and it's about diversity, right? The Department of Parks will love it.
And for the efficiency about the treat the water, because if we construction the treatment plan, maybe the quality we can control better than wetland.
Yes,
because
and it will be
it's
smaller.
natural.
Yeah. That's the trade-off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the trade-off. But think about if you need government approval, right? If your project needs government approval, the most smart design is make sure your design make every department happy. If you are the developer, because it's your money, you borrow the money from the bank. It's in your best interest to get everything approved by all the people, so you can get constructed, right? And what's your strategy? Your strategy is that you benefit everyone. Otherwise, the approval process will take a long time, and then you're paying interest rate to the bank every day, right? You think about that. Okay, but that's a really interesting question. The developer, they will work out what's the best way to do. We can stand in the shade. We can look at the outlet. and then stand in shade.
So this is the
This is outlet, okay? So I want to explain to you. So in the past, how do we design wetland? The outlet is built a weir, but the weir is punctuated with many holes. This is very old wetland. This is how we design it. Because based on orifice equation, we can work out what's the Q discharge versus the height. Okay? This is, we can call this first generation. Second generation is instead of building a weir plate, we just use a pipe, a stand pipe, and then punch holes on the pipe. One pipe, punch holes. Still doing the same thing, but it's much smaller. You don't have such a big pit. Next generation, RD generation, you can think about smart gate. For example, you can build a weir, rectangular weir that can rise up and down to control the water level, or you can shift left and right to control the opening. The smaller Q discharge. The wider, the larger the Q. They all can change. That's the third generation. This is the first generation. Easy, you punch a few holes and water comes out. And into the drain. Yeah, this is the downstream drain. You can see why we're doing this by gravity, right? You have to push all the way upstream to divert by gravity and discharge by gravity, right? That's capture the control difference. What is the purpose of this? It is a forward payment, but it is no curtain. I don't know why they put it there. Maybe they usually want to cover the whole thing, but
not yet.
we want people to see it. You want people to see it, right? What is this doing?
ไม่ได้เลยถ้างั้นเราว่า
for the product also
Not doing anything.
for the original
ไม่มั้งเขาเป็นรีเฟรชสลายพลังงานมันทำอะไรให้มันมาเยอะๆนะให้มันรู้ฝั่งก็จะมาติดพวกนี้ก่อนอันนี้ก็จะเหมือนบัฟเฟิลมันจะเหมือนบัฟเฟิลแต่ว่าเขาบอกว่ามันซึมน้ำซึมผ่านได้
มันคือขับแถวบ้านเราจริงๆ
รอพี่
Why I call it first generation? Because whenever you do this, that wall is always going to be wet, and you will grow more, grow algae. The moist is not beautiful. So the second generation we put a pipe within the pit. You can't see anything, right? So I can show you. The second generation you have a pit, and then have a pipe coming in, and then stand pipe with holes. Then all people see is the concrete pit. This is plan view. Plan view, right? So the other project I'm going to show you the rest of this week is this. Oh, be careful, be careful. Be careful, be careful.